Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Once again, I'm No Fun Frank. I thought I'd maybe do a little more in-depth video about how I utilize the firing range to figure out my recoil pattern and control. So I have the STG-44. Right now I just have an optic and a magazine on it. So usually what I do is I'll come over and start on this side, and you can get like 2 or 3 here, and then a couple in here, and then over here is where you'll be able to get the most. But I've done this so much with so many different attachments and guns, I usually start all the way on the left just to give myself that many uh, chances to try different attachments to see what works the best. So, recoil pattern with no attachments for recoil. I mean, the SCG is pretty accurate. It's really not a hard pattern to control. But we'll go back into the gunsmith, and first off, we'll just try the rear grip, the one that gives you. This is one of my favorite recoil control attachments because it has no negatives except for aiming idle sway. But no negatives that you can see on the in-depth details. So we'll put this on, and we will go back, come and turn, and we'll see what the difference is. Just kind of tightens it all up, a little more smooth, not quite side to side as this one, a little smoother. Alright, so we'll leave that attachment on, and we'll go and put another let's just get something that has. Alright, we'll do the Jack BFB. I normally don't like the Jack BFB while playing multiplayer or Warzone, just because the negatives, just how long you stay on the mini-map, aim down sight, and sprint to fire speed is just, and the bullet velocity is the big one. It kills it. So I normally don't use this, but I'm going to equip it just for the sake of this video. And go back in the firing range. I think we're gonna get one more right here, yeah. Alright, let's see what this one does. It's a noticeable difference. This is nothing. This is just a grip, and then this is a grip and the Jack BFB barrel. And then also for controlling, that's like a laser, dude. With the Jack BFB and the grip, it's a laser beam. Alright, so we're going to remove the Jack BFB. I normally like to run the sonic suppressor. Although the quartermaster suppressor is good for recoil control, I would say it's what I would use in place of the Jack BFB. But I like the sonic suppressor for the bullet velocity. A little bit of range, mostly the bullet velocity. So how I like to run my STG is I do this stock for my recoil. It's pretty good, 21, 11, 11. It's a good one. A little increase to aim down sight and sprint to fire speed, but nothing crazy. And my last attachment that I normally like is a barrel or ammo. Let's see, whichever one gives me the best range without hurting my... So I get range and recoil with that. Let's see the ammo. Is it high grain rounds? Yeah. We're gonna go with the high grain rounds. So this is probably how I would set my STG up. Let's go back. So right here is kind of tricky. You can't really get straight on right here. So I can get one last one right here. Let's see. So it's a little more vertical. It's about the same vertical as the original. Same height wise. It's still, that's a pretty easy pattern to control. I mean, for the most part, once it does this little thing right here, you might get off target a little bit, but so that's how I would run my STG 44. I might swap this for the barrel, and I could get range, bullet velocity, and a little recoil control. Let's actually put that on and see how this one stands up to it. So we'll go right here. I don't really love that. I kind of like this one better, even though it's a little more on the vertical. It's a little more straight. This one has a bigger arch. So let's get out of here and let's try a different. Let's see what we got in the way of stocks. What else? Okay, so 18, 10, 10. I love no stock attachments, but it kills your recoil. No stock, you aim down sight much quicker, you move faster. But the recoil is where it is bad. I mean, it's tight, you know, the shots are all tight, but you have this big arch, and it's pretty good distance. And you got to remember too, the further your target is away, the more defined the spaces will be, and the more discrepancy you will find in the pattern and your control of it. I mean, this is almost. I mean, that was lucky. You'll never get lined up like that on a. Not never, but not very often will you be able to line up like this on a person in the game. So if you're just running up. I mean, that's not good enough. Not good enough. This is my favorite one for this gun. And I like it because it takes away the rear grip, which takes it away as an option, which I kind of like the aftermarket parts. I like how they take away some of the options, and it leaves you with only certain ones to pick. Just, I don't know, it can be difficult sometimes to choose which one is the best one. I mean, that's why, honestly, that's why I utilize this method of the firing range and the glass to test my different recoil patterns and control. So I liked the ammo instead of the barrel. So this is my setup for the STG 44. All right, let's try a different weapon. I'll do the static HV. Gunsmith. Okay, let's take off everything that helps with recoil. So I just have the optic. Alright, let's see. to the range. Oh, wait. Sorry, I need to get out of this completely. Go back in. Then your glass will be all fresh and new. Gunsmith, alright, range. Voila! Clean glass. Ready to try another. Alright, so no recoil control attachments on the static HV. It's really not too, I mean, it's a lot, but it's relatively straight up and down. So let's go. First one we'll do. Let's try stock. Okay, 10, 10, 10. That's good. 15, 15, 15. That's better. This is my go-to stock on this gun too. So let's try just the stock. See how it goes. So much cleaner. A little less on the vertical amount. A little bit tighter on the horizontal. All in all, it's pretty good. It is an SMG, so it's not made for for range, as you can tell by that last dummy back there. It kind of messed with me a little bit. All right, let's try another attachment. Let's go and put on. You know, I want to try this quartermaster suppressor and see how good it is. 10, 23, and 10. Little boost, little increase to the ADS and sprint to fire speed. Let's put it on so we have the stock and the quartermaster suppressor. Oh my god. It takes away so much of the visual recoil too. Your optic, your screen's not all shaking around all crazy. I mean, that's beautiful. That's a very easily controllable recoil. Slightly hold down. Sometimes you'll go a little too much. The more you use a gun with the attachments you like on it, the better, the more accurate you'll get with it. It's still an SMG, so it's not really made for range. Alright, let's try another attachment. Let's put on some barrels. I like barrels that give me range and bullet velocity. It's a necessity, in my opinion. So we'll put that on just for shits and giggles. And underbarrel. So what I mainly look for in underbarrels especially is horizontal control. It's much easier to control the vertical recoil. You just hold down a little bit on your stick. The horizontal, it's hard to judge because you don't know when it's going to bounce side to side. It's impossible to. I don't care who you are, how much you play, how much you use a gun. You'll never be able to predict when to go left or right. So what I look for in my underbarrel is horizontal control, and I like this one, the FTAC SP10 angled grip, because it has the only downside it has is 4% on the vertical. No penalty to ADS or sprint or movement speed. So we'll put that on. Go. We got room right here for another one. This one's so tight and straight, it's you can get 5 in one row. All right. All right, that's a little funky, right? That's why we test this. I mean, this was without the underbarrel, just the suppressor and stock, and this has the underbarrel on it, and it looks worse. I mean, you know, the beginning it's a little more straight, but then I don't know. It just looks uglier in my opinion than this one does. Let's do another one just for science sake. Because it's not always going to be identical. Each pass, each time you do this, it won't be identical. You might find it's not going to happen very often. Same attachments. It depends on your angle of approach. Very rarely will two patterns ever be identical. So I mean that's actually pretty good. That's better than this first one. I mean that's actually pretty good right there. That is a good setup for this gun. That is how I would run it. Or I could swap out the quartermaster suppressor for my sonic suppressor to get a little more bullet velocity and range, but it hurts. It's a penalty to recoil control. Let me try this. See what it looks like. Right here. See, I might choose this one. It's pretty much straight up and down, just because you get that extra bullet velocity. It depends on the map you're playing on, or you know, there's other factors that would go into you know, the distance that you want range, why you would use the sonic for the extra bullet velocity. So I could go with either this setup or the quartermaster setup. You lose some bullet velocity and a little bit of range. 100 meters per second velocity. Couple meters minimum and half a meter for effective range. I think I'm going to change it to the quartermaster one now. I think I like that one a little better. It's an SMG, so you're not trying to stretch distance out with it. This would be my setup for the static HV. Now also your loadouts. I don't know how many you can make. Mine are just kind of random right now, different guns. But if you play a lot of multiplayer, Warzone's not so much, but multiplayer, you want to have multiple loadouts. I usually always try to keep one loadout that is like my best setup. That way, if I get, you know, put into a lobby and we're just getting destroyed, I can switch to my best setup, and where I hypothetically do my best gameplay with it. But yeah. So your loadouts, I don't know how many they let you make, but I'm sure it's quite a few. I don't know if there's a cap to it. It's probably 12. I don't know if they let you do another row, but like I have, you know, SCG, assault rifle, SMG, the BP-50. Before the SDG came out, that was my go-to assault rifle. I don't have a class for it right now, but if you play a lot of multiplayer, I would recommend uh, making a loadout that has a gun that's good at shooting down streaks, chopper gunners, uh, the other helicopter, whatever it's called. That way, if you get put into a lobby and they have a chopper gunner up, or you can just switch to that really quick, and go out and take it out. It's very important to utilize your loadouts. Should also play around. I mean, I think most people do, but you get like set with the field upgrades and lethals and tacticals and gloves, boots, and gear. All your gear, you get used to using the same stuff. I'm guilty of it. It would probably be good practice to try different things. That way, you can be ready for whatever the match brings you. However, the other team is playing, you can have a loadout prepared to counter that playstyle. All right, well that's gonna do it. It's my whole video on my utilization of the gunsmith and firing range for recoil control and patterns. I'm No Fun Frank. Uh, kind of brand new to the whole YouTube scene. If this helps you in any way, you could leave a like, you could subscribe if you're into that kind of thing. I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all the views. I appreciate you guys very much. All right. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever time it may be where you are. I'll see you later.